Okay. And then, oops, wait.
So first thing you do for the next 2 minutes is text your team and find out why they aren't on this call. So just everybody spend 2 minutes texting your leaders, the ones you want on here, Doug Coe, Dylan, Devin, that whole crew down there, that whole crew, every one of you, just text your leaders, James, Earl Moore, your potential business builders, throw them on. So whoever it is, that's what you're doing right this second. And somebody needs to throw it up on Facebook
I'm
that
doing
this
that
thing's
now.
starting. Yeah, and just let's get, put it on all the pages real quickly and just spend 2 minutes. This business is about duplication. This business is about doing what you believe in. And if you don't believe in 65 days and wake up, we got a problem. If you don't believe in what we're doing, you got a problem. And we got to solve that. But even if you figure it all out and you're really, really good at it and you don't give it away, we got a problem. So that's where we are. So I might get one call from Melanie Hooper. If I do, I'll be off for a couple of seconds. So we're going to get this thing started in about 1 minute. And the first person we're going to talk to is Pamela Schwartz. And make sure you have a pencil in your hand, everybody but whomever types well, so she can throw some websites up for you to stay on top of what's going on with a few things that we've got happening here. But we are committed, and Adrian will talk about this in a couple of seconds, to take you guys to the next level through follow-up, through contact mapping, through the whole shooting match. This game is on, and we are going to play it so big. So here we go. Let's take it away and get this thing moving. So with that said, Pamela Schwartz, take it away, baby.
I'm here. I'm still posting. Hang on 1 second. Hold on.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on.
You post so slowly.
I know.
Tom, tell a joke.
Oh yeah, well, we could have no, the great joke teller of all time. You guys don't know this is Denise. She can tell a joke at a level you would not believe. She is a regular Dawn Rickles.
She's way prettier.
Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it, Tom.
Okay.
You're frozen.
Okay, honey.
I love
All right.
Your face
Who's
is
frozen?
You are. Your face is frozen in a very unflattering way. Oh, there.
Right now, is it? Okay, good.
Well,
I'm back.
You got this little, go like this because you got this piece of hair sticking straight up onto me. You see that?
Right there?
No, a little bit. There you go. Okay, good. Okay, now
I gotta go. I gotta get some mousse from Noah Sigmund. So, all right, here we go. This is about ready to start. Okay, so has everybody posted and told your people to come on?
Yes.
This is very, very important. All right, good. Now we keep moving. Pamela?
You ready?
I'm ready. Let's go. These people
right.
are mad at you. You weren't on the Hair on Fire call, and now you're moving too slow here.
Okay, here we
tell
go.
them what that is.
We're going to be moving 90 days in a dash through Star School, the success system that was started by Paul Croto and Cheryl Morley. And if you want to find out details about how to get involved in this, you go to starschoolsystem.com. There's actually a place to enroll where you can become a part of the program to get blasts via text to let you know what you need to do. And for today, tomorrow, and Thursday, there are 1-hour sessions that you can see on the Star School Facebook page that will be recorded there if you can't do it, but it's 2 p.m. Eastern time for these 3 days. And what you do is it is a really great step-by-step way to start the business for anybody. Now, if you're not a 5-star right now, then this is the beginning of your business. So you're going to start to do this now. So the intent of this is for you to become 5-star in the next 13 months. So by convention next year, for you to reach 5-star is to do everything that you're told. And everything that you're told to do will include participation in things like 65 days in a wake up, because that's creating the positive habit, and using contact mapping, because that's going to help you to create that level of depth of relationship and to do the right follow-ups, because you're showing people that you care about what matters to them and you're using the health evaluation system. And so you're making sure that you are the tour guide and the talent scout. You are the messenger, not the message, that you are sharing what Doc's all about in the message. And that health evaluation system is broken up into two things. One is the evaluation itself, where people fill out a very detailed format of what things are ailing them and the things that they're concerned about for their health. And then the other website is where you can access all the information about Doc Wallach. So that's kind of it in a nutshell, but you have the ability to download this booklet. And the training that I participated in today at 2 o'clock was exactly the same as the training that we had in San Diego for the first session. And they had 3 separate sessions in San Diego to cover this entire book. I was able to attend 2 of the 3, but I knew that they were going to be starting this program, this 90-day dash, between today, September 4th, and Thanksgiving in order to really explode your business. So what questions does everybody have? Oh, go ahead, Tommy, you're unmuted.
Was today's recorded?
Yes, and it is at the Star School Facebook page.
Okay, good. So they've got, so all of you people that want to watch this, you definitely want to walk in and take a look at it. It is following the same track that Luis Ariaza is using, the same track that Scott Fardulis is using, the same track that the various successful women in longevity are using. And the key to this thing is making sure that you're following a system. And what we're going to create is a culture. And the culture is going to be completely about rank advancing people, having people make a lot of money. And that's the culture we want to create. And inside of that, that means we all do the same thing over and over and over again. If you talk to Corey Gold, we want to make sure he's saying the same thing that Scott Fardulis is saying, who's saying the same thing that Cheryl and Paul, and it goes on and on and on. And that's why creating this perfect duplicatable system is so critically important. And my hat's off to Cheryl and Paul, because I think they did a good job on it. And what we want to do is really have them understand that every one of us want to start like this and play it bigger. Whether we're Claire Kelway, whether we're Doug Coe, whether we're my new buddy David Peters, where we're Rock and Sandy, whomever it is, that's how we do it, and that's how we have to do it. So one thing that's happening right now that's just turning into a groundswell is how many of you are all going over and becoming 2 interview a days, 1 3-way call, following up like crazy, and then touching people through 65 days in a wake up. And that fits into the same conversation. And even though they're talking about a 90-day run, I am allergic to 90-day runs. I want you, at the end of a 90-day diet, I started eating potato chips again. At the end of trying to stay sober for 90 days, I started drinking again. And I picked up right where I left off. My goal is to create you guys into a habit where you're doing this right behavior for the rest of your life. That's my goal. And that's what I want for each and every one of you. So know that I'm committed to you people creating a bad to the bone habit that never ends. You can do these runs because you want to do the runs, but I am going to tell you that you develop in the habit. So, you know, look at what's going on inside of, I'll talk about that later. Nothing changed my mind. I was going to talk about this new diet of mine. That isn't a diet, it's a lifestyle. And once it turned from a diet to a lifestyle, it became permanent in my head and everything else. And nothing's gotten in there because of the way that my mind is set. And I want your minds to be exactly the same way. So Adrian, talk about GoPro, talk about what's going on with the contact mapping app, talk about lighting this thing up and where our commitment and our goal is, because it's pretty cool what I talked to you about today.
Yeah, absolutely. So here we are. It is September 7th, 2018. And as many of you know, and if you don't already know because you're new to this call, welcome. we have this group called 65 Days in a Wake Up. And the purpose of 65 Days in a Wake Up is to teach you how to interview 2 people a day, to three-way one, and to follow up like crazy over those 66 days, the other side of which you are a transformed human. You have a list so long you can't believe your eyes, and you are firing on every cylinder. So that's a 66-day commitment to do it 66 days in a row every single day. It's hard. It's awesome. It will change you. So here we are. It is September 7th, 2018. And that means, it's September 4th. I already had it. I did it, and then I redid it. All right. It's September 4th, 2018, which means that it is exactly 3 months to the day from December 4th, 2018. Now, who knows what December 4th, 2018 is? That is GoPro, Recruiting Mastery in Las Vegas. And if you complete this 66-day run, you win a ticket to the big event of your choice in network marketing. But I am going to suggest you go to this GoPro Recruiting Mastery in Las Vegas, where Magic Johnson is going to be speaking, where John Maxwell is going to be speaking, where Eric Worre, who wrote the book GoPro, is going to be speaking. And it is an unbelievable thing. So I want you to be at that event. It's 91 days away, and you have to get 66 days in a row somewhere in that 91-day window for you to be there. And so as we kick this Star School thing off, contact mapping and the 65 Days in a Wake Up, all these things fit hand in hand together. And so what that means is you've got 91 days to get yourself there. But what it also means is that you have 26 days between here and there for you to cast the vision for as many people who are already in your team, or for you to bring new people into your business and have this be a part of what they do, where they can complete their own 66-day run between here and GoPro. They get a free ticket. They come with you, and we bring this huge 65 Days in a Wake Up team and community to Las Vegas, where we all get developed, where we all transform together, where we all relaunch yet again to another higher level. And that is the vision that we're going on. And so I am so excited about that, because I just think all these stars are aligning, forgive the pun, between Star School kicking their stuff off right now, between us kicking this off right now, the timing going into that GoPro event in Las Vegas. I think there's no reason for us all not to jump back in the foxhole. And as part of that, there's a lot of people on here that I'm looking at right now, Peggy Gleason and Dancing Pamela Schwartz and Marianne, and I don't know if Dee's on here or not, but and Tammy Willis. There's a bunch of you on here who have already completed your 65-day run, and you're thinking to yourself, well, this sucks. He's not talking to me. It's not fair. However, that is not true. So here is what I am personally committing to. Here's what I am inviting all of you grads to commit to. And here's what I'm asking you to do. So if we are really honest with ourselves, especially those of us who went through 65 Days in a Wake Up kind of on the early side of things, contact mapping didn't exist yet. And I think there was a spectrum, but there's no doubt in my mind that I didn't play 65 Days in a Wake Up as big as I could have. And still it was really hard for me, because it's a hard thing to do, and it's hard to do anything 66 days in a row. But I routinely go, you know what, if I had known what I know now, I would have played it so much bigger. I would have followed up better. I would have done all these things. So if that resonates for you at all as a grad, what I would say to you is now is your time to jump back in, to go do another 66-day run, to be truly the leader in our community, where we are we're letting everybody learn from our mistakes the first time by showing them what an incredible example we set the second time. And we go do it again. And if you went to GoPro last year because you did 66 days and you want to go do another 66-day run again this year, you're going to get another ticket to go to GoPro this year again. So there's no reason for you not to do this. We're going to go light it up. I'm going to be in there. Dad's already back in there. You know, Dee Widener already talked about, she and I spoke about this earlier this week. She's back in the foxhole. So this is going to happen. And it is really, really exciting. And everybody gets to play.
Okay, so having said that, am I unmuted? Are words coming out? Okay, so here's everybody. What we found out, and all of you grads can pop in and talk about this, is this. you got through the interviews. Had I told you at the very beginning, when you were all whining at me, you wanted to buy leads, you didn't know anybody, I begged you to go out and interview 66 people, 100 and whatever it is, for 66 straight days, you're thinking, holy mackerel, I can't do that. About 2 weeks into it, every one of you were swallowing your cigar because all of a sudden you were inundated with names on your list, information on your list. You had no idea how to follow them up powerfully. You had no idea how to touch it. We had Trello because the app wasn't ready yet. And you missed the mark quite a few times. And most of you are calling the follow-up problem on yourself. And I'd love to hear from Peggy Gleason and a couple of the graduates that went through it, that said, you know what, I'm going back through it again, and I'm going to follow up right this time, and I'm going to enroll right this time. Now, by enroll right, that might have to be a third run on 66 Days in a Wake Up, because it's really a three-headed deal. You interview the people, you find out what they want to buy, and you drop them right where they want to be. And then the third piece of that is to follow up until you've created that conversation called I'm related to you, and I want to serve you with dropping you right where you want to be. And the third part of it is that enrollment conversation of how to do that. We're going to try, now that we've got all these graduates in place, to get all that buy-in going at once, where you're actually able to say, man, I've got these people. Tamara's got some great people that we're working with. John Clark's got some great people that we're working with, that we want to take those people to the next level and bring them into the business. And we want all of you walking out of here with 9 circles at the top of your page called those 9 one-star legs are going to make you all 5 stars. Now, I'm not allergic to Star School, and I used to be allergic to Star School. And the reason I was so concerned about Star School today was because I thought they were starting at $0, then they were starting at $25, then they were starting at the $200 pack, and finally they're starting at the $500 Mega CEO pack. But basically what's happening in the conversation is they're starting at this Mega CEO pack, working down. If they don't have the 500 or they want to work toward it, that's fine. You drop them right off where they want to be. But we want the same culture of making that Mega CEO pack important. How much, somebody post up on the $200 packages, how much BV is on those $200 packages? That dot that says dot, parentheses is me. That's me. I erased my name and put that period there. So Marianne, when they're all looking, normally every week, they go through the merry-go-round trying to figure out which one of my split personalities to unmute. So basically what I did was I got rid of all those. So that's me. That's me, that little dot. So back to it. So what we want, so this is going to work like a charm for you guys. It is going to be beautiful, but you got to play it bigger than you ever have. You got to be Hanny. Hanny's breaking 1 stars. You guys are killing it. I am so completely proud of you, but I know you've got more in the tank. And once this turns from a task to a passion to an obsession to change people, take over. I've got to take this call from Melanie.
I don't know who was supposed to take over. Denise, jump in there.
Go ahead, Adrian. No, that I think it's so cool that, you know, I think you're right. The GoPro, for me, the GoPro event that's coming up in December was when the first time I went, it was one of the most life-changing events for me in being able to, I mean, I go to these events from the standpoint of being able to learn more so I can teach more, you know, and so being able to hear so many different people at such a high level on the stage at GoPro was really cool. But the better part for me is being in a room full of 5,000 excited network marketers and knowing that, yes, we are in the right company. Yes, we are in the right profession. That was almost more moving and inspiring than anything else. Go ahead, back to
Yeah, that is Tom
I'm
back.
looking up the packs, by
Yeah.
the way, just so you know, because a CEO pack, the QV, a regular CEO pack for $4.99 is 500 QV, but the volume, the business volume is only 100. For the, look at one of the 200 packs here.
I think Tom's back. Are you back?
Tom is back.
Oh, good. Okay.
All right.
Okay, so all right, so how much is the QV on the 200s again?
I can't find that yet. I found the CEO pack 500 QV is at 100 BV.
I knew that.
So it would make sense. It would be 50 or something less.
Okay, so somebody's got to go find one of those packs. It's right there on the enrollment page. Just go to the Youngevity.com and search CEO packs, and you won't get CEO packs. You're going to get the enrollment packs, and they should have the BV on there. But what I want to do is point out to you that from a business standpoint, it is so much in your best interest to sell somebody a CEO pack, not let them build up to CEO. In your best interest, and Corey Gold will validate this, in your best interest is you bringing your people in with a mega CEO pack, because inside of that is obviously the $190 in coding that's in that $500 pack. So that's down to $300 because $190 comes out. Then you've got the fast start bonus. Then you've got the quick start bonus. So literally 300 of the 500s coming back into the system as commissions. And if you do the same numbers as to how much you make on on one of the $200 packs, it's night and day less. And I don't want you to make night and day less money. This business is hard work. Enrollment is hard work. Youngevity, the company, doesn't love the mega CEO packs. They don't love those because they don't make the kind of money off of them that they want to make. But that's their problem. It's the greatest entry for you, for us, for the customer on the planet. So having said that, Corey, am I right or wrong about that? Yeah, there it is. BV, the 200 packs have 120 BV on it. So if you're bringing that pack in and you're getting paid 30% quick start on bringing somebody in with that price, that whole thing is going to pay you 30% of $120, and 3 times, obviously, 12 is $36. Correct, Corey? Can somebody unmute Corey? I think I saw him earlier. Corey.
Yeah, I'm looking for him. I don't know if he's still with us.
Oh, damn.
Where'd he go?
Might have lost him.
Yeah.
Might have lost him. So does that make sense to all of you? The kind of money that...
Can I mention something, Tom, that I learned while we were at convention about that?
Yeah.
Okay. Going through and watching Dr. Lewis and Avelia Ariaza, and if anybody's ever watched them or followed them at all, we know that they have an incredible culture. And we're talking about culture, creating a culture in our business. And the bottom line is, if you tell people what it is that they need to do, they're going to do it. People need to be told. So if we behave wishy-washy and say, well, if you can't afford it, you can come in at $25, or you could do this, or you could do this. But if you say, hey, this is what you do, and that's where I liked what the Star School was saying, is that here you go, you set yourself up, you get connected for our community, and then, oh, by the way, you get your CEO pack. Which one do you want? You know, it's not an option. It's this is the third step of joining the business to create that success, to open up the entire compensation plan. And I like that because I think a lot of the times people are underselling themselves by not creating a culture of this is what you need to do.
Yeah, you guys agree with that? Am I wrong or am I right? Yeah.
No, Pamela is exactly right. And it is a culture. And that's why, it's people want to know what to do. And so you're exactly right. When there's clear direction, and if you're coming in as a business builder, this is what you do. you sign up, you buy a CEO pack, you get on auto ship, and you sign up for convention. Like that's just what you do as a business builder. And you know what? People, it makes sense. They go, okay, of course I'm going to need product to use and to give away. Of course I'm going to want to go to the convention this year. That's the investment in my business, right? So yeah, you're absolutely right, Pamela.
The other thing that
Anybody got any? Go ahead.
The other thing they mentioned
Yeah,
in Star School, as well as with Dr. Louis Nevea. So again, this is going company-wide. This is not just one specific group. It's everyone being on the same page. Is you come in with a CEO pack, and then you put yourself on an auto ship that's either $250 or $300, because that's what you need to create the leadership category. So if your intention is to become a 1-star, then you better be at a 250 QV auto ship. And the great thing is that with Youngevity, the most you ever have to spend for your business center is 300 QV. Right? And so if you create that from the beginning, it's going to create a volume in your business, because everybody has the mindset of, I'm going to go 1-star. And so if I'm going to go 1-star, this is what I have to do to get there. And so I came back with a conviction of talking to people. And I was talking to a guy earlier today when Tom had called me, and that's exactly what we were talking about is, okay, this is how we need to set up the structure. And we're planning it all out and say, okay, you come in as a CEO with this, then you go here, and then the next step is this. And it felt different. If I can impose that on all of you, that it feels different. You have to have that confidence in yourself, in this company. Maybe it was the fact that I went out there and I got to go on the private tour of the corporate office. It was because of all this great leadership training that we had. It was phenomenal. And shame on you if you haven't bought your ticket for 50% off for next year's convention already. If you haven't, too bad, go buy it now.
Gee, many Christmas, you sound like Dave Brisky. So that is so very cute. But does that make sense to all of you guys? Is anybody having any problem with the logic behind it? I want you to make money. I am not a big QV fan. Now, if you're trying to qualify to rank up, what you do, if somebody buys a Mega CEO pack, it gives them 500 QV. So you're obviously getting a big bite toward whatever kind of qualifications you've got out there. And the fact that you're really buying that big bite of QV for $499, but over 300 of it is coming back in the form of commissions based on your rank. So a lot of that coding bonus, $10 and $20 bills, a lot of you are 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars. Those are pretty small numbers. The majority of the code actually even pays out at 1 star and 2 star. So every one of you could really, really crush it. And I want you guys to make money. That's where I'm at on this 65 days in a wake up. I want us to get obsessed with not only making money for our teammates. I watch Peggy be obsessed with Hanny. I watch Samantha obsessed with Peggy. I watch Mike Battistelli obsessed with Samantha. And it works upward. And the name of the game is what you want to get obsessed with is your organization getting paid. That's what you have to get obsessed with. Are you clear about that? Has anybody got a question? It is like you have to be able to vibrate it and feel it. I get up every morning and I think about how to help Marianne. I think about how to help Jeff Barassa and that whole East Coast team. It lights my Bardulis. I think about him. I think about Corey and his team. I think about how I'm going to inspire those leaders to inspire their leaders, right? Inspire leaders to inspire their leaders. I don't care if your name is Robert or your name is Job. I don't care. I care that you are absolutely committed to inspiring your leaders. That's what you do. Jenna, I'm talking to you. Des in New Zealand, I'm talking to you. We are completely, So here's the deal. That word downgrade isn't a bad word. I'm telling you, what that means is you drop people off right where you want to be. Do I have to go through the weight loss in the Starbucks conversation yet one more time? Every one of you guys knew 5 months ago that Tom Chenault could lose some weight. You all knew it. The only problem is Tom Chenault wasn't ready to lose weight. All the people running around with a milkshake or something like that would have never, ever made me do it until I was ready, and then you can't stop me now. And that's the way I was obsessed that way with money. I've been obsessed that way with time. Right now, I'm obsessed that way with product. But it's because somebody interviewed me and we played it right where I was versus where they wanted. That's what that happened. And that's what I'm telling you. Keep my shirt on it. Yeah. No question. Serve people. Serve people. Sanjeev, Denise, Dr. Ipe, Dr. Flanagan, Dr. Kevorkian, somebody else was involved with this. All of a sudden, they saw a willingness on me to finally hear what they had to say. And they hit me with all barrels because I was ready to hear it. But none of them ever hit me with all barrels until I was ready to hear it. And there's a big lesson in that because there's several of you on this call. I'm looking at names. I'm not going to mention any that I want to be successful in longevity so badly. And I know that you will do whatever. And you know, it's got to be that gift of desperation where you will do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. And in this case, it takes learning this Star School International inside and out, learning longevity inside and out, going out there and doing the 2 interviews a day and 1 3-way call and dropping people where they want to be. That's every one of you. You can do it. There's no doubt in my mind. Not one person whose name I'm looking at on the screen. I'm looking at you all, and I'm not calling anybody out. But most of you want to do this. Here's the system. Here's the culture. 90 for life. The culture is 90 for life. It is using Dr. Wallach as the center of the flower. It's all of us committed to build 5 stars all the way across the board. That's the culture. All of us committing to get on the calls. All of us committed to get, that's it. The system is in 2 interviews, 3-way call. Follow them to the point where you know what they want out of longevity and drop them where they want to be over and over and over again. But so many of us want to go out way, and they want to take us with them. They want to go way out there and bring us back. And all of a sudden they get all bloodied up and they come back and say, I'm going to try this again. And what we want to do is have that not happen. Right, Denise? Denisa. Hello, Sharon. There's another graduate just came in. Did I lose Denise?
No.
Am I right or am I wrong?
No, you're right.
I knew you'd say that. And so,
What am I going to say? Yes, of course.
and so what you and I talked about today was women 5 stars. What we talked about today, you know, one thing about the women in longevity, they've got all the advantages, man. They've had 4 cruises in a row. They got these women's retreats. They, you know, the women are completely treated better than the men in longevity because Michelle Wallach happens to be a woman. But on the stages, and we had lots of stage people this year. You know, Maria Roybal was on the stage. So was Cynthia Flores. I mean, we had some rock star women on the stage. Kelsey Britton. We had Robin Tanner. All these people. But we got to have more. If 84% of our members doing anything, of our check getters are women, we should have 84% women on the stage. But there's no entitlement. There is no, like, this isn't tenure at the high school. This is all getting out there, getting in living rooms, raising the bar, rank advancing, taking people up with you. That's where it happens. And you know how anti-click I am. You know how anti-everything like that I am. I want you women stepping this baby up because I know it's going to make you happier. It's going to make us all happier. Who's got any rebuttal or anything they want to add to that? Anybody? Then I'm going to Peggy. Can we unmute Peggy Gleason?
She's good.
Yes.
Hello, Peggy.
Hello.
How are you?
Awesome.
So you're going back into 65 days and a wake up.
Yes.
What did you learn last time? Claire, coming to you next. What did you learn last time?
I learned things last time and since then. The last time, you know, as I got used to doing them, it did become automatic. but I will tell you, I failed miserably after that with follow-up. I just was not sticking to it. So prior to making the commitment to come on over the weekend, I was, honest to God, I was scared to do it again. It's like, I don't know. Can I do this? I know how much work it is. Can I do this? But I decided to swallow the bullet last night and make today the commitment. So it's still hard to make the commitment, even if you've done it once.
Okay, I agree with you. And you know, but what's supposed to be easy? Was it easy becoming a nurse and a doctor at Duke University? Was that easy?
No.
No. It was different.
No, it
No.
isn't. And it's a great point. It's really a great, you have to pick your heart. And that's the truth. Right now, you know, this is a walk in the park compared to the work I did my whole career. But somehow, you know, I tell myself stories like many of us do, like, oh, maybe they wouldn't be interested. It's still going back to some of those doubts that I had in the beginning, you know, starting over. It's like, oh boy, they're looking at me, here she comes again. But I know that I did it last time, and I'm certainly capable of doing it again.
So let me ask you this. Can I ask you a question for everybody? Have you taken a piece of paper or a whiteboard and just drawn circles on that piece of paper and said, listen, here, I've got to have 9 legs. I went through 66 days in a wake up already one time. Do I have names to fill up those nine circles? And if not, I understand that because of what you went through the first time. But if you had that thought where you knew where you were going, you would probably say, I am going to stop at nothing to get there. But I think we've dropped the ball on getting you guys to understand where you were going. And now we've got this conversation where we want to drive you all to 5-star, not ride on anybody's shoulder. And doesn't that help you?
I believe it does. I think it makes it, we all need clarity. And without clarity, we fall short. So for me, I'm one of those, I need to have the map. I need to know where I'm going, or else I'm just on this road to nowhere. And I think that does make it better.
I do too.
Thank you.
Okay. So thank you, Peggy. I love you. And watching you inspire everybody warms my heart. And watching Rock and Sandy, I just saw Rock just came on. His wife was here hours ago. But watching her play it so big and jumping back in the game and understanding where the pitfalls and potholes were last time is the key. Because there's a case to be made. We all phoned it in on the first 66-day run. But guess what? It was to be expected because you didn't know how to do. The hardest part was understanding the whole philosophy about getting related, finding out what they want to buy, and then come back and sell them. And now we've got that down part. Claire, what do you think? How are you, kid?
I'm committed.
Well, that I know. So
that means I'm going to be doing 66 days again.
Okay, and in the whole thing, life caught up with you. You had a lot of drama that took you out of your game, but you still brought some really good people in, Angie, and you know you did a very, very good job there, and they're starting to build, which is creating rank advancement for you. But the name of the game is mastering this, so they see you master it. So everybody's better, right?
Absolutely. And I came back from convention, and the one word that was just very strong in my heart was systems, that we have to have a system for us to duplicate. And I had spent 7 months in longevity, and I was still trying to work out what is that system? We have pieces, but now I feel like I've seen the STAR system today, the STAR School system today, that you know, anyone can do that. And what I loved, I think it's page 7, but what I loved was the layout of the 1-star. And so I went and printed 9 of those because I want to be able to do that for every one of my leaders. And I want to be able to create that. There you go. Yes, there, Pamela. That's what we need to do, because I can't build something I can't see. I have to be able to see the road ahead for me to go out and build it. Even though I don't have the names to fill those 9 holes yet, but I have certainly 3 or 4 of those. And that's what's going to take me to the next rank. But it's all about taking my team to 1 star. And now I get it, because we're just creating 1 stars. That's what I didn't get that before.
Yeah. Anybody else okay, so thank you. Anybody else want to speak up other than Kevin? Kidding, Rock, I just saw you. Anybody else got anything they want to talk about? Anything that they want to explain to me? Anything you want to try to show me why this thing isn't or is working? What do you want me to do? Talk to me, folks.
I think one of the things that really came out of convention for me was tied into you, Tom, about the gift of desperation. And what that meant to me is that when people say that they are in a place of hardship and they are looking to do something incredible to change their lives, financially, they will make it happen. If they see that you've got something that will work for them, they'll figure it out. And again, Dr. Lewis talked about meeting in, and he called it himself, the true Mexican garage, where they're out there in the open and there's a Rottweiler in the backyard tied to a rope, and he's asking, is that rope tight? But he did notice that in their house, they had a 100-inch screen TV. So if they want it bad enough, they'll figure out a way to make it happen. And so that's what I came away from thinking of you, Tom, with the gift of desperation, and thinking about these people, some of them who were living in their cars and are now making $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 a month. Come on, people. Right. We can make this happen.
And that's a great point. And Richard Brook is now down in Noosa, Australia. Really good buddy of mine. And he's far away. But I can talk to him on FaceTime. I can talk to him on Facebook. And that's what I do with so many people. Hanny just popped up and said, what about most of my contacts if you've got a human relationship with those people, like you've been talking and now you're talking to them because they're in another country or that's how they prefer, use Messenger. Use Messenger and continue the relationship and the conversation. I'm not allergic to that at all. And I am interested in real relationships. And I'm using Esther and I a couple of days ago, patched in a conversation. People, I don't know where they were. Maybe they were Philippines. I can't remember where they were. But, because we can actually get on a camera and talk. We can have 3-way conversations. Use the tools, but do not think that it counts to have some faceless relationship with somebody you've never spoken to in life before, because you don't even really know if they're a human being. It could be somebody just toying with you. So please, whatever you do, the integrity of this conversation is the most important part. Play it bigger than you've ever played anything in your life. So that's the answer. I saw that, Todd. I'll go look and see if I got an answer for you there. What else? Oh, Adrian, I want you to, Well, Hanny, if she's referring to 3-way calls, wait a second. Yeah, the 3-way calls, Esther, just the other night we had a good conversation with these people. And then we went in and added the country manager for the Philippines right to that conversation. So she had the relationships with the people. They love her to death, where they're talking about all their passions. And then once it was obvious that they wanted to be involved with longevity, I just added in the country manager and said, please take these people by the hand and guide them to the next longevity event that you're having at the Philippines office. So yeah, that messenger worked like a charm. The relationship was already there. She already knew the people. And yeah. I'm all over it. Yeah.
All right. Am I up?
You're up. Take it away.
All right. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit just on how you manage your follow-ups in contact mapping and how you can use this, especially if you're getting ready to go back in, if you're back in, whatever that looks like. So hold on a second. Hopefully this is going to actually work. We're about to find out. Ha-ha! You guys see that?
Yeah.
All right, good. All right. So
Is that your phone?
that's my phone.
Well, you got 8 follow-ups due today, Betty. You better be skipping dinner and getting in there and getting that work done.
My wife's going to the PTO meeting, and I'm rolling up my sleeves and going to work.
All right, good boy. I don't want to have to ground you for a week.
So if you have used contact mapping in 65 Days in a Wake Up, or if you're about to, what you're going to find is even as you use the tool, you're going to have to learn how to manage the tool and not have the tool own you. Because what you're going to do is you're going to have a tendency at the very beginning that you're going to talk to all these people and you're going to be all excited and you're going to put everybody that you're going to follow up with them tomorrow. And then you're going to talk to them tomorrow and then you're going to say the next day. And so that's going to be 4. And then the next day you're going to pile 2 more on and you're going to say follow them up the next day, and that's going to be 6 and then 8. And you're going to get a notification that says, I have 123 follow-ups due today, one day. And that's going to really scare the crap out of you, right? So there's a few nodding heads because there's a few of us that have already learned that lesson the hard way. So what the name of the game is you've got to really develop your personal system for when you're going to touch these people. And you have to know, you've got to make sure that when you need to do it, that you really do it. And that's the hardest thing for a lot of us. But you've also got to make sure that you aren't afraid to put somebody a month or 3 months out there if that's where they belong, because otherwise you're going to get piled up and you're going to get inundated with too many people. So right now I've got 8 people that are due today. I've been back-to-back meetings all day long today, so I haven't done my touches yet. So some of these people need a phone call and they need another real conversation. And when I do that, I'm going to pop up. So this gal, Kelly Music, I met her at Longmont Startup Week. She's a translator. She's a Spanish translator. So she works in courtrooms and does all this stuff. And she's got the biggest personality on earth. And she would be so good at this. And I don't think she's making any money doing what she's doing. But I've got to go and interview her. And so I need to call Kelly and get a time set up to really get together with her in person, because it's not going to be a text message or a phone call is probably not going to be enough. So my action here is call Kelly, get it set up. And when I do that, instead of marking it done, which is going to have me set a note that I haven't really talked to her yet, I've just got the conversation set. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit edit the follow-up, and I'm going to move that follow-up out to whenever that conversation is, so that then on that day it's going to pop up and say, hey, Kelly's today. Make sure when you finish the conversation that you annotate it. And I've got my reminder there. So one of the kind of pro tips just in general is don't mark something done when all you've done is texted somebody. If there's nothing to record there, just set your next follow-up by hitting the edit, moving it out to the next point in the future, and take it from there. And that way what you do is, instead of having a bunch of stuff piled up here where you've got notes that don't actually mean anything to you, instead what you've got is only stuff that's really meaningful, and you keep moving those follow-ups out into the future at the point where they make sense. But if you can fire through, tonight I'll fire through these. 6 of these are going to be just a text message, and I've moved them and I've set them out into the future. But that text message makes the difference between that person forgetting who I am or remembering who I am, that conversation progressing forward or not continuing to progress forward. And so that's all it takes. And all this does is you wake up in the morning, and at whatever point you do it during the day, you're firing through those, which ones, you're going to know which ones, either based on looking back at your notes or on just instantly seeing that person there. These are the ones that I really need a meaningful interaction with. These are the ones that's just a light touch and I move them out into the future. But that's the name of the game. But if you don't have this, 10 days into 65 Days in a Wake Up, you are going to be pulling your hair out, because you just can't. You're going to start throwing all these balls up in the air, and there's no way you're going to be able to keep track of them all. It's just, we're going to get overwhelmed. And so use this thing to help you do that. And you're going to be able to stay sane through this process, and you're going to be able to do it at the level that we wish we had done it the first time as grads, but we didn't, because we didn't have the organization and we didn't understand how much we were really missing the trick if we weren't following up the right way. Dad, anything else I should cover or that I missed? I'm taking that as a no.
He's talking, but we can't hear him.
Oh, okay. So is it all right if I jump in really quick?
Yeah, go.
So one of the things that I think, as far as where the conversation is going, that's kind of how I determine how soon I'm going to speak with someone again. And so I think when you're just really getting to know somebody, then that pushing it out, maybe like you said, a month or two, and then coming back to and keeping the people tighter, that the conversation is starting to flow that way. And so I think, like I just looked, I have 15 follow-ups today, and like you, I've been in meetings most of the day, and so I just need to kind of reach out to some of those people. But some of those people are starting to reach back out to me, right? Just because I've kept reaching out to them via my contact mapping app. So that's what we want, is people to start really kind of coming back to us and saying, I want to find out more, or let's, do something around this. So go ahead.
Pamela gets notes. I think you're in the back of my mind, Pamela, because I think I sent something, a follow-up is one thing, a touch is another. And if you can continue to touch people and let them realize how much you care about them and that you're thinking about them, versus trying to bring them to some sort of conversation, just touch them and say, I love you. And set your app to do that, where you got like 20 minutes just to blast through a bunch of short text messages. You're going to be astounded at how your leaders appreciate it, and you're going to be astounded at how your business grows as a result of it, I think. And that's what I want you to do. I think that's perfect for you. So sorry to interrupt you, Marianne.
No, I think, yeah, you're right. And interestingly enough, and you guys might have seen this interview with the lady that sold us our bed, our new Sleep Number bed. But I interviewed her, and she mentioned a couple things about herself that I thought was intriguing, and we've been going back and forth. And then she hurt herself, and she had to have surgery, and now she's, I don't know, she does a podcast, and she's asked me to be on the podcast with her. And she said, and I know the products that you represent have a really high energy. And I did mention, that I was in Youngevity as our conversation continued. But what's interesting is how now it's more of her reaching out to me versus, and I just text her all through her surgery. And I said, how's it going? And kind of like, every week. And then I told her when I got back from San Diego, I'd reach out to her and see what was up. And, so I think it's really simple, but in our minds, we just make it really hard for some reason. And like you said, just really reaching out and saying hi and checking in is how it gets started. So.
Okay. Unmute Jeff Barassa.
Oh,
this is risky business right here, because Jeff is one of the interesting guys of my life, and I want him to be successful so badly. It's unbelievable. So what do you need help and answers on, Jeff? You're one of the most likable guys in the world.
Mm-hmm.
What stops you? Because I think what stops you stops a lot of people.
Yeah, I think. And one of the things, I'll give you an example. Before I went to convention, I was at the chiropractor, and being a neutral business, instead of having CNN or Fox on, they have Food Network channel on. So I'm sitting there just staring at the TV, and some guy came in and sat next to me. And he mentioned something to me about the channel, and I went, oh yeah, it's kind of interesting. So we started talking, and I got on to about, remodeling my house and doing some work, and he started going, oh yeah, I used to have a crew, and I did remodeling and blah, blah, blah. And, I used to make $100,000 a year with my crew. And it was like, I used to. So I looked at him and I said, well, what happened? Which I guess is the way to go. And he looked at me, started talking, and said, well, he goes, the real estate bust. He goes, I ended up laying off all my crew. He goes, I was going bankrupt. I almost lost my house. Then he goes, he says, I got a job as the foreman at the local school doing maintenance. But that was good until I broke my neck and had to have surgery. So I'm listening to this guy that's an entrepreneur. He owned his own business. He's got medical issues. And he's at the chiropractor, not for the chiropractor, but for massage. And he had numbness in his arm, and we were talking. And this woman comes walking up. And she looks at the guy and goes, hey, how you doing? He goes, yeah, good. How are you? She goes, I'm fine. I'm still looking for a job because I just got laid off with like 350 people today. But I think I've got some opportunities out there to look at. The chiropractor calls me in. I leave him. I say goodbye. I walk in. I come back out. They're both still sitting in the lobby in the waiting room. And I tell them, have a nice day, and I walk out the door. I can't be the only one that does that.
I can't cure stupid.
Yeah, I know. You can't fix it either.
I was kidding. No, Jeff, what you say when you walked out the door is, I was in that chiropractor's office.
Tommy, we can't hear you very well at all.
Okay. I was in that chiropractor's office,
Mhm.
and all I could think about was you two out here in this lobby. And I might have an idea for you.
Hmm.
And just anything that is going to, the one guy was in the construction business. She just lost her job.
Yeah.
Anything to create some interest in what you've got, where you're coming with no agenda versus some goofy product. And
Right.
constantly look for conversations where you create curiosity, where you can say, would you like me to send you some information? What's your email address?
Mhm. Yeah.
You're scared to death to ask somebody their phone number. You are petrified of that. Don't
I
do
am.
that.
I am.
I know.
I guarantee you. Yeah.
I know you are. So all you have to do is ask them their email address and say, I want to send you something.
Hmm.
You can do that all day long,
Yeah, true.
because you get paralyzed by what to say. That's where, you're trying to figure it out. And Denise, I make people, she'll tell you, we're driving down the road to Denver last night, and I'm just playing, and it's called LCS. It's called Let's Call Somebody. The second I think of somebody,
Mhm.
I dial them on the phone. And it's crazy. But Denise, how well does that work?
Well, I think that the cool thing, it's almost like the less you think about it, then you don't have the space for fears to come up.
Mhm. Yeah.
So it's almost like, okay, think it, do it, and just be in the moment. And then you don't have all that time like, oh my God, what if they say this? What am I going to say here? What if they, and our fears are always worse than reality.
Right.
And so I think that's, and the other thing for me too is I tend to want to plan it out more, like, oh, I don't have enough time right now. I'm going to need a half an hour to talk with them, and I only have 15 minutes. And so then I end up putting things off that I should do right away, and then it never gets done.
Right.
It could be dinner time. It could be this. I don't want to bother them right now. I'll call them.
Story.
Yeah. What if I'm driving, and what if I have bad cell service, and then I'm going to have to, then the call hangs. Oh gosh. Okay, I'm going to mute now.
Okay. Oh, I can see my.
We see your big finger.
Yeah. I have no idea where it is. Okay, so we're calling my buddy Ollie. And you see that?
The cell phone of Alejandro Connor. Leave me a message and I'll call you back.
Ollie, congratulations on getting married on Saturday. I'm very, very proud of you. But I also noticed that you're not on auto ship and your order didn't go through for this month. So how are you going to live a long, fulfilled life with that new wife of yours if you're not taking your vitamins? Would you please call me right now? And I don't care if you're on your honeymoon or not, because I have to keep you alive and keep you functioning the way you're supposed to be functioning, if you know what I mean. So no matter what, call me right now, no matter where you are, what you're doing. And I'm sorry I didn't come to your wedding. It was too far away and I was too busy. And that's it. I love you. Bye. That's what you do. That fast. All I did was look at my phone right there, Jeff, and the first name that popped up, I hit send. I made a commitment. I'm hitting send, and that was him.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't wonder what he was doing on his honeymoon. If he would have said, Tom, I am doing this, or this, I would have said, why on earth, if you were doing that, and that, would you answer your phone, you idiot? So whatever it is, just be bold. Stop thinking, you guys, right or wrong?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Nope.
Anybody. So it's all it is. All day long.
Wrong is relative.
What?
I said wrong is relative.
Wrong
Bothering
is
a guy in his honeymoon.
So this guy hasn't been in longevity forever. Not the most likable fella. Was making a fortune in another company at one point. We're calling him right now. He's going to be complaining about something, I promise you. I'm returning his call. He called me.
Don't show his number. You can turn it around so we're not. Oh God, Tom.
Hello.
Hello, Terry. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good.
Why'd you?
Did you remember me, or did you just have caller ID?
No, are you kidding me? I love you, and I haven't talked to you in a couple of years, but that doesn't mean I don't love you. Are you still in Greeley?
Yep, still live in Greeley. I'm still doing construction. Very busy with construction.
Well, you gotta be.
Hey, yeah. Hey, can I call you right? I'm just about ready to walk into parking lot here. Just hang on just a second. It should take a minute, I don't think.
All right.
Want to turn these in?
We don't wait. So I hung up. He can call back when he gets a good signal. We don't have time to be waiting while I'm on hold. So you are controlling all conversations. I'm looking, I got like 9 cameras going here, so I can't tell who I'm looking at. But that's what you're doing is, this whole thing is being unstoppable, Jeff. He goes, do you remember me? I haven't talked to you in a couple of years. I looked right at my phone and said, Terry Story, Greeley, Colorado, easily enough not to say who he was. Use that contact mapping app like a sword. It will change your life. I promise all of you. Who has a question? Jenna. What'd she say? Oh, I get caught up in the right thing to say. Really? All you say is, I love you. How's it going? How can I help you? Can I get a haircut? What are you doing at 7 o'clock, Jenna? I miss you. I should read my text stream from me to you and you to me, to these people. Because I'm telling you one thing right now, stop thinking. Your heart, Jenna Goodajohn, carries the day. Not the right thing. It's never the right thing. It's never the right time. I have no idea whether you like what I'm saying right now. It's none of my business. Does that make sense to you, I hope? So stop thinking. Aim for their heart, not their head. Use your heart on their agenda, and you win. You're the nicest person in the world. Stop thinking. Be authentic. Does that make sense?
You moved your camera.
I did? I think I'm looking right at me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, sorry. It's a mess. All right. Anybody else got anything before I take you home? All right. Robert Estes, why are you coming to Longmont? Your mom had a stroke.
Wait, David Peters has his hand up. David, did you have your hand up?
Yeah, David, what do you got, buddy? What's up, David?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I don't know if this will help or not, but I learned a lot from Ray Higdon, and he said he's a generic coach. If people don't know, he's not in any company or anything, but he's had great success in network marketing. And he said that everything is a habit, including fear. And so when we get scared and that fear comes up of I'm scared to call somebody, or I'm scared to do this or that he would replace that habit with a productive habit. So he replaced the fear habit with a productive habit. So in the case of calling somebody, he used to have the fear of making phone calls, and he would make 20. He would shoot for 20 no's a day whenever he was on his run in his network marketing company. And when he would get afraid of calling somebody, he replaced that habit with calling a random person as fast as possible. And so the new habit became exactly what you do, Tom, which is call somebody right now. And so he would just literally scroll his phone real fast and click on the first, and sometimes it'd be like his tire repairman. And he'd be like, hey, I know this is weird, but are you open to taking a look at a side project if it didn't interfere with what you're currently doing? If not, no big deal. And he created that habit. He changed his fear habit into a productive habit.
Right.
So I thought that tied in, and hopefully it helped.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. You guys follow that? So, and how about the app? Are you guys using the app? I just wrote that down because I'm thinking about the doctor's office again. And Jeff, you could have shot that guy something. If you had that app sitting there and you just knew what that guy was looking for, or that woman, you could have said, I want to shoot you a link as I'm walking out the door. What's your cell phone number or what's your email? Does that make sense? And by the way, on this Ray Higdon deal, I'm on Ray Higdon's live webinar every morning. So that's good to hear, Peggy. Anybody else having success with the app? Anybody else? There you go. Yeah, there you go. Okay, you guys, start using that app too. Peggy Gleason just said she loves it. So that's that simple. What do you got, honey? We're looking straight up my nose. Right over here, so it's not just my nose. Okay, right there's perfect. Right there's perfect. They love that. That's perfect. You guys can only see the top of my head, just like that.
Well,
that's awesome.
Here, I'll hold it right
Okay,
here.
you hold it right
and
there.
then we won't have to look at it.
Okay, I can't believe she's listening to me. It's so embarrassing.
Yeah,
All right, you guys. I know. I feel just so embarrassed.
That's better.
All right. Good. Now I have to look down. Okay. Okay. So everybody, we're going to have the meeting at the office. I have no idea what just happened here, but you know how long we've been married? 19 years. I'm very used to this. So it's not. Don't you guys think she's controlling? She's just the best wife in the world, and she cares about me.
We're looking for a really top-rate nose hair clipper.
Yeah, anybody that knows a really good nose hair clipper that we can buy. Why do I have nose hairs?
Well, it's a little forced, but it's
All
okay.
right.
I
Well,
wouldn't know
Jenna,
that.
Jenna told me that a couple days ago too on text. Yeah, that's Jenna. That's Jenna's on here saying what to say to people. Jenna, that's what you said. So here's Jenna.
What the hell's up with the nose hair?
Jenna,
That's what you
I am
say.
going to give you a clue. That when you sent me the note via text a couple days ago about my nose hair, that I'm not sure that made us more related. I appreciate the tip, but no, I'm kidding. I loved it. I love you guys with all my heart. Everybody have a great night. We're going to go do our meeting. Estes, Robert Estes, are you unmuted? I'm so self-conscious now I can't even bring it up. Okay, so all right, you guys, I love you with all my heart.
That was a good call.
Christmas. All right, bye. Bye, everyone. Thanks. All right, love you, honey. Thank you.
He's in San Antonio. Kenny Sai, she.